Okay, hello everyone, my name is Laquan Williams, and in this video topic I want to discuss the subject of the episode that occurred last night on Loki's TV show on Disney Plus. It's season 1 episode 4, and it's called the Nexus event. So basically what happened is Loki and also Sylvie, who is a different variation of Loki, or what she was called in the comic books is Lady Loki. Her name is Sylvie on the show. She and him learned that the time keepers are fake. The whole time variance authority / association, or whatever you want to call it, that faction, the whole space colony is fake. All those people working for the company, for obviously for them, they were all just regular human beings. Everybody was captured. Everybody had their memory erased. They were regular people, and they were obviously working for them. So they're essentially their slaves who have been brainwashed and reprogrammed. And because of this, obviously now they're learning the truth about it. Agent Mobius as well, who's played by Owen Wilson. Ravonna, who is the head court jester, her head over there as far as their court. She's obviously the second in command, basically the first in command there, besides Mobius, and obviously the B-15, this woman here, who obviously is the head of their foot soldier association group, the time variance agents who go out and actually capture people. Ravonna right here, she ended up vaporizing and killing Owen Wilson, obviously, who is obviously her partner, and it looks like obviously he's gone, and it looked like obviously as well that Loki was gone too, because he also got vaporized or pruned, where they use the end of their baton, and they basically vaporize you, and you kind of burn up in flames and disappear, basically like you were hit with a laser, or like I said, you were vaporized. So Loki wakes up at the end, and in the end credit scene, he learns that obviously he thinks he's dead. He was asked if he was in hell, or we're all thinking, is it hell or is it purgatory? We don't know. It's some type of it's like a pocket dimension he's probably in. So that's basically what's happening. And at the end, he saw 3 people in front of him. It was one little boy and 2 older men, and it looks like they're obviously different variations of Loki, different versions of him. And that's what it's what's being shown here in the article that I have, not here on this article, but on another one. This is AV Club. The other article that I have is on Den of Geek. It explains all the different variations of Loki. So it looks like the main villain so far is Ravonna. She obviously vaporized Loki and tried to take out B-15 as well. It looks like she actually, it looks like she was still alive, but I don't know what's going on with that. I'm trying to remember. I don't think she was taken out actually, but we'll see what happens. So that's basically what's going on. I think she escaped. I don't remember her getting killed, but Sylvie, who is Lady Loki, stayed behind. She demanded, before she killed her, Ravonna, she said she wants to know the truth. She wants to know everything. Tell me what's going on, basically. Who's in charge here besides you? Since you're answering to these people, and they're obviously fake, and you know that they're fake. The time keepers, these guys are supposed to be these godly creatures or creators. They're all fake. Loki and Sylvie attacked them and cut one of their heads off, and it was a robot head. It was like they were talking to literally robots who were being programmed and controlled by somebody, but they don't know who obviously is in charge of that. And it's just like the Wizard of Oz. Loki and Sylvie were able to pull back the curtain and learn who obviously they thought was in charge is not in charge, and they were being lied to, and it's a fake. They're all fake. So basically, everybody who works for the Time Variance Authority used to be a regular person who had a regular life, but they were all kidnapped, brainwashed, and had their memories erased in order to work for them as slaves. I don't know why, but it's weird. And all right here on Den of Geek, it explains the different variations of Loki that we saw at the end. And basically, the different versions of them are boastful Loki. It's a Loki wearing more traditional battle armor and holding Mjolnir-esque hammer. And it says boastful Loki is what we're looking forward to him in the coming episodes. I think that was the older guy, and there was a kid as well. This the other version of Loki it says it's Kid Loki. Jack Veal, I guess that's his real name, and it says Kid Loki, however, is a big deal from the comics. For a period of time in the comics, after Loki had been killed during the siege of Asgard, he returned as a child version of himself, essentially when he was still mischievous but not yet evil. His whole purpose was to prove everyone that he wasn't necessarily evil and could change. Kid Loki ends up joining the Young Avengers, a team which begin to see take shape in the MCU with Vision and Wanda's kids, Wiccan and Speed. Elijah Bradley on the Falcon Winter Soldier, and soon Kate Bishop on the upcoming Hawkeye series, with Kid Loki here played by the end of the effing world's Jack Veal. It seems that Marvel Studios is getting more and more serious about bringing the Young Avengers to the MCU, and the last version that we saw in the end of the credit scene was Alligator Loki. It says, there's no indication of where he might fit in the comics or Norse mythology, but it says he has gold horns, and apparently there's another version, classical Loki. In a serious power move, Marvel Studios has gone ahead and cast Jack Kirby Loki lookalike Richard E. Grant as classic Loki, wearing his signature green and yellow spandex from the comics in his early comics appearances, and really most of his history. Loki was always depicted as the older, more sinister in appearance, and generally more shifty than Tom Hiddleston's roguishly charming, handsome look. Richard E. Grant looks like a Kirby Loki drawing come to life, and his appearance here is tremendously cool. It's easy to imagine an alternate MCU where they went with a more traditionally villainous route for old Loki, and Grant was the villain powering everything. So that's basically it. So like I said, those different variations of Loki were with him at the end, so he's obviously not alone, and he's probably going to try to find Mobius on that planet that they're on, or that wasteland / pocket dimension. I don't know what it is, but we'll see how it is, and if Sylvie decides to look to join him somehow and try to save him, or if she's going to run through time herself, because she obviously probably has Ravonna tied up in obviously chained, and grabbing her device, which allows them to travel through time and to jump out obviously through different timelines, and when she's going to go and just run away and obviously hide like she was usually doing once she escaped from her when she was a little kid, because on Asgard, when she was a little kid, Sylvie was captured by her and the Time Variance Authority, and she was captured by her, and they held her for, it looked like she was only held by them for maybe a day or two, and she was able to escape, grab their teleportation device, and travel through time. That's basically what happens. And what she did, they were trying to grab her and erase her memory, so she would never knew that she was obviously Loki. But she was a little kid, so she had no idea what was going on. She was just on Asgard. They showed her playing with her toys. They grabbed her, and then they erased the timeline. It acted and made it so she was never there. So that's basically what happened. So they obviously had been going at her since she was a little kid, so you can see why obviously she took all their agents down, because she kept trying to hide through time to save herself, because obviously she said in this episode 4, that she's obviously not supposed to exist. So that's basically what happened. So that's basically what obviously happened, and we can see obviously now that everybody knows the truth about the timekeepers, that they're fake, and that the whole universe is obviously fake. So that's basically it. If you haven't seen the episode, let me know what you have to think. If you are going to see it, obviously, because you're interested, let me know obviously in the comment section. If you're not interested because you're probably tired or burned out for the obvious reasons of these Marvel movies, DC movies, obviously the different shows and variations that they have. A lot of people are saying that they're tired of watching the shows, so based off of that, they're not watching a lot of these Disney Plus shows or any of the ones on the CW TV network. I think because a lot of people are saying they're tired of the superhero TV shows and movies, and some of them are duds. As we can see with upcoming movies like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and obviously what's going to happen with the Eternals movie, and also Black Widow. It's looking like all those movies are about to be a bust. Black Widow probably will most likely do the best, obviously, because she's a more recent character and more mainstream character that people know about, because she's obviously been in that Marvel universe, and now the MCU is what they call it, for over 10 years, and all the Avengers movies. And she first obviously was introduced with Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow, the character, in the second Marvel movie, second Iron Man movie. So that's basically what's going to happen with that. I don't know what will happen with the other movies, but they're supposed to be the next year. The next Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man is supposed to happen this December. It's coming out. That's going to happen. Obviously, we're expecting Kraven the Hunter and other superhero villains supposed to be in there, with other different variations of Spider-Man. Toby Keith, Andrew Garland, obviously Tom will be there too. Obviously, who plays the not Tom Hiddleston, who plays the current Spider-Man right now. I forgot the actor's name, but him and all the other Spider-Mans are supposed to be there. It's supposed to be like an intro to the Spider-Verse, but instead of it being animated, I don't know if they're going to have Miles Morales in it, but so far they're saying Andrew Garland, and obviously Garfield or Garland, that's one of his last names, and obviously Tobey Maguire, the first person who played Spider-Man in a movie, obviously. So that's basically what is obviously going to happen, and what's been going on with obviously these Marvel movies. Doctor Strange 2 will be out next year, and obviously I think the next Guardians of the Galaxy, which will be the last one, will be out next year, and I think possibly the new Blade reboot, or I think the reboot of Blade will be out in 2023. I'm not sure. I'm kind of skeptical of that, but I'm because it's not going to be rated R. But we'll see if things change. I don't know, but we'll see, because I'm a huge fan of Blade. But I'm not really looking forward to a PG-13 version of him, handicapped with no, I would say no blood and no I would say extra gore. I mean, he is a half vampire, half human, and he hunts vampires and monsters for a reason. So it'd be kind of weird if it was a cut down version with less blood. I mean, he fought Dracula in his last movie, literally. Like, you can't go higher than that. You can go higher than that a little bit, but maybe if he's fighting like Frankenstein or something, I don't know. But Frankenstein is not a vampire unless he was hit with or poisoned or bit by a vampire. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So that's basically it. That's all I have to say about this, and that's the end of. There'll be 2 more episodes of Loki. It's 6 episodes for the first season, just like the Captain Soldier and with the Winter Soldier and Captain America, obviously Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson, obviously, who's now Captain America, since Steve Rogers, of course, is dead. Who's obviously Captain America. So we'll see what happens with that. That's gonna have a second season. Obviously, Loki will also have a second season on Disney Plus, and that'll basically be it for my video. Thank you again for watching. That's it, and that's all I have to say. Thank you again. Bye. Thanks.